There are some places you just shouldn't go, especially if they don't exist. Hello, I'm here to tell you a scary story about a hotel room that can only be seen at midnight. It's one of those urban legends that people like to tell each other around a campfire, except this one is 100% true. But my boss said that I needed to get out more, meet people, expand my horizons, all that corporate BS. So I booked myself into a hotel, one of those old, historic places that always seems to have a good sale going on. I checked in and went up to my room, but something felt wrong. I sat on the bed and reached for the box. My head pounded and my vision was blurred. I stumbled back as the room lurched back into place. The walls straightened, the windows stopped shaking, and the door slowly closed. I felt its cold, dead fingers brush against my neck, and then everything went black. Was I having a stroke? Had I hit my head hard enough to cause brain damage? I looked around the room again and saw that it was completely empty. I was just unlucky enough to be one of them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment below if you dare. Dare to watch another one of these videos. If you ever hear scratching sounds coming from your walls, don't ignore them. Just leave the situation immediately. And whatever you do, don't go through the opening. Whatever is waiting on the other side doesn't want you to come back. The bed was gone, the dresser was gone, even the box was gone. In its place was a single sheet of paper. As soon as my fingers touched it, the room began to shake violently. Scrawled across the paper in what looked like blood was the message, "You should never have come here." Suddenly the door burst open, and a tall, shadowy figure stood in the doorway. I screamed and tried to run, but my legs felt like they were filled with lead. I turned and hid under the bed, pulling the covers over my head. "Please, please let me go," I begged. The bed frame creaked and groaned, fell to the floor as the room started to spin around me. Then everything went black. It was like a bad premonition, you know? Like the kind of feeling you get right before something terrible happens. It was then that I noticed the time on the clock in the corner. It read 12:01 a.m. The room was silent now, but I could hear scratching sounds coming from behind the wall. I looked up to see a single clock hanging on the wall. Its hands were frozen at midnight. The scratching grew louder, and the wall in front of me started to crumble away, revealing a dark and narrow passageway. I tried to shake it off. After all, it was just a cheap hotel. What was I expecting? A red carpet entrance and a gold-plated bathtub? I didn't even see any other guests. It was just me and a creepy old man in a loincloth sitting in the lobby. Well, at least it happened to me. The wallpaper was a sickly shade of green and covered in huge dark stains that looked like blood. I don't know how long I stood there for, but eventually I forced myself to walk through the opening and into the darkness. That's when I realized that I wasn't alone. I stopped dead in my tracks when I saw room 237. The door was slightly ajar, and a dim yellow light spilled out onto the carpeted floor. I thought maybe someone had left their "Do Not Disturb" sign on by mistake. And then I heard a noise, just a whisper, like someone talking in their sleep. Curiosity got the better of me. I pushed the door open slowly and stepped inside. I was traveling through Arkansas in business, which really isn't my thing because I prefer to stay home and write. I walked down the hallway and realized that the walls were closing in on me. The room was empty. There was a queen-size bed with a floral comforter, a nightstand, a dresser, a full-length mirror, a TV, and a phone. The curtains were drawn, which made the room darker than the rest of the hall. I walked over to the window and pulled them back. Outside, I saw a fire escape ladder leading up to a roof. I wondered why there was a ladder outside my window instead of a balcony or a set of stairs. I shrugged it off and went back to the bed. That's when I noticed a small wooden box in the corner. It was ornately carved with strange symbols and looked very heavy. When I woke up, I was lying on the floor in front of the box. I picked it up and unfolded it. A deep, guttural voice replied, "It's too late. You're already dead." The figure approached the bed and reached for me. I woke up on the floor again, my body aching and my mind numb. As I stood there frozen with fear, the scratching stopped abruptly. Now here's the thing. This hotel room does not actually appear until midnight, nor does it show up every midnight. It picks its victims. Thanks for watching.